What up, y'all?
What's going on, everybody?
Y'all have been asking for this for quite some time now.
Yes.
The boat that Guy built, the complete series. Now, we have found out that it is available on the Guy Martin YouTube channel, but it's not available in the United States.
No.
We have to have a VPN for it. Unfortunately, my VPN is being very wonky. Luckily, God bless this person that uploaded the entire series on here.
Wow.
And so what we'll attempt to do is bite it off in 30-minute chunks, because that's what I've seen that the length of the episodes is 30 minutes.
Okay.
Let me just double check it here real quick. Boat. The boat that Guy built. 1 season. I'm probably going to cut this part out. S1, E1. Why can't it just tell me the... All right, I'm just going to assume it's 30 minutes, and
Okay.
we'll go from there.
Sounds good, man. Sounds
All right.
good.
3, 2, 1.
This is Guy Martin, part-time world-famous motorbike racer and full-time lorry mechanic.
He's not looking pretty.
He's a man with a passion, a whopping great big passion for when Britain was the workshop of the world.
Everything was coming out of Britain. Everything. You know, iron bridges, steam engines, cotton manufacturer, the factory. Oh, get excited.
Now Guy wants to recapture the spirit of his 19th century engineering idols with a unique challenge.
Reckless. She's a bit tatty on the edges, boy. You know, we've got a bit of red lead on her.
Along with his best mate Maeve, he's going to spend the next 6 weeks transforming this ramshackle old narrowboat into a celebration of the great British inventions of the Industrial Revolution.
That is a great British invention.
We should be proud of being British, and I think people need to know, don't they?
Guy will learn all kinds of traditional techniques to build everything he needs to kit out his narrowboat. From his own cotton sheets to sleep on, to a steam engine to power his shower. And along the way, he'll experience firsthand the beautiful hidden world of Britain's canal network.
Oh, I'm loving this. I'm feeling it.
It's all about squeezing 200 years of British brilliance into renovating one single boat. The boat that Guy built.
Wow.
Wow, this is going to be an intense series.
Oh man. Okay, dude, I'm here for this. So
Yeah.
it's like he's pulling all the stuff he's learned and been exposed to into this one project. It's like an all-encompassing project.
Yeah. It's giving me both Fred Dipna vibes and also kind of like Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe
Yeah.
kind of dealio there. Like, just a big love of his country and, you know, the Industrial Revolution and when Britain was great.
Yeah.
And it still is, but,
Yeah.
you know, the Industrial Revolution part.
That's some of the stuff that came out of then is just like nuts. How long it's lasted the test of time.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Because I feel like across the board, stuff that's made now is meant to break. But then you made something to last forever.
Yeah. And it's a shame that kind of ingenuity has been replaced by capitalistic gains. It's
Yep.
more money in the people buying it again there it is
Yep.
to maintain the one that bought it in the first place.
Yep.
It's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing Guy build the boat.
Yeah, me too, man. It's just he brings this whole air of just positivity.
Yeah.
You know?
And just passion for it.
Yeah.
And that helps common folk like us that don't have anything to do with that. Makes it more palatable for
Yeah.
us.
If the
and
person
enjoyable.
is enjoying it, I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, 100%. Let's just go.
Let's do it.
Guy's decided that the first and most essential thing that needs installing on Reckless is tea-making facilities.
Yes.
Tea's my thing, really. I mean, my cup that I have at work is probably 2.5 times the size of a normal cup of tea. And I'd reckon I was doing near on 20 a day. So if we can make a cup using old methods and make a kettle and boil the water using old methods, that's what we're going to do, and we're going to do it properly. So when you start as a mean to go on.
So, Guy's
That's important. Whatever your caffeine source is, whether it be a tea making machine, a coffee maker, a vending machine with Coca-Cola or Monster Energy.
Yep.
Like that's key
Important.
right there.
Gotta keep the fuel that what is it? Metric leaf water. 100%.
Metric leaf water.
You gotta have that in constant supply on a project.
Yes. Guy needs his metric leaf water, damn it.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
His first mission is to build a blast furnace so he can cast his own kettle. Then he'll throw his own mugs and choose his tea the proper way.
That's a great slurp.
Heck.
But before all that, Guy's very first job is to introduce his mate Maeve to their project for the next 6 weeks, a narrowboat called Reckless.
Well,
Here we are.
what have you done?
Reckless.
Very fitting.
She's moored at Worsley House near Manchester, at the start of Britain's first ever man-made waterway, the Bridgewater Canal.
Heck, you're a bit keen there, boss. She's 60-foot, boy. What
Yeah.
sort of year do you reckon she is?
Do you know what? I couldn't tell you. By the way she looks, has it been through a couple of world wars?
That's what I'd have said, but no, 1991. 1991 with a 1931 engine.
I do admire your enthusiasm, you know.
Chief, it's all there. You can see the potential, though, can't you?
There's even more of what Guy charmingly calls potential on the inside.
We have the bare canvas, have we not?
She's skinned out there.
Hey?
Oh, yeah.
Not a bad
yeah.
job, though, is it?
Luckily, Maeve is a carpenter by trade.
This is where you come in. I mean,
Yeah,
this
I'm
is
just
your,
thinking. I'm getting.
This is your trade,
I'm
isn't it?
happy now, aren't I? So we'll box this off, put them wires in. We can have a kitchen here. Don't you reckon?
Go on,
And
paint the
then
picture, boy.
We like our books, don't we? Every
Oh,
now and
we love
again.
the books.
We're going to have a bookcase. And this bookcase will hold the key to everything.
Do you think?
It will be the oracle, like the oracle of all things narrowboat. All things narrowboat.
Don't get deep.
Woodwork and craftsman.
Yeah. So Maeve is more your pace.
Yeah. Got it.
Usually I title all these American construction worker, but you're more of a carpenter.
Carpenter, 100%.
Yeah. So
100%. That's crazy. I mean, but you know, it takes someone. It's just a special eye to see potential in things.
yeah.
No, and I feel like those that are in the carpentry trade or interior design have that eye that sees potential in what could be. You know, they can take a blank canvas and fill it pretty insanely. So this is cool, man. This is cool. That's from 91. That doesn't seem that long ago. 1991.
With a 1931 engine.
Yeah, that's kind of what?
Yeah, that's more of Guy's
Yeah.
area of expertise as opposed to the carpentry of the 1991 part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Craftsmanship may appeal to Maeve, but Guy gets excited by a nice lump of engineering.
This is where it all takes place. We've got here 1931, twin cylinder, overhead camshaft.
Twin cylinder.
No, this, perfect for the job. Makes 20 odd horsepower, but it'll make, it'll do that forever and a day.
Yeah.
Next, it's time to head out onto the canal, and as Guy has never steered a 60-foot narrowboat before, this should be interesting.
Hang on. I'll push it off.
I'll go back, mate. Just go back.
Tell you what, boy, this is going a lot worse than I expected. We're away!
Few briars. It's all under control.
Bon voyage!
Traditional narrowboats like Reckless played a crucial part in transporting the fuel of the early industrial revolution, coal.
Okay.
They were the HGVs of their time, but unlike the lorries of today, whole families lived on board, sleeping in a tiny cabin at the back of the boat.
Okay, so that's kind of similar to a lorry or trucking, especially in America. That, I mean, not whole families, but one or two people can live in a tractor trailer truck, and because they have beds and microwaves and all that in the back, basically a home on wheels. So that's kind of similar.
It's kind of, yeah. I feel like this is very unique though. Like,
Yeah.
it's just replace the semi life with this canal life.
Yeah, yeah. And back then,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, that's kind of interesting because then it's like you own your own boat, to transport coal and also live in. I see the appeal to that. You know, I mean, granted, that's not for me, but I could see the appeal to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Morning, boss.
Morning.
All right, we've only just got my legs on you, only just. The thing steers from the back, so you've just got to, say you're on the front over there, where you've got to do it a lot earlier.
Back it off, Chief. I know, we're going too quick here, boy.
I know. We're gonna get a blue light here. I've got enough points on my life.
Guy's honing his skills on the Bridgewater Canal, which loops through Cheshire in northwest England. It was considered a monumental engineering feat when it was built in 1761 by a precocious 21-year-old called Francis Egerton. It transported coal from his mines to his factories.
He was along the same way of thinking as me, I think.
I don't like the sound
Wore
of
the
this.
same clothes day in, day out, a bit the same as me.
Yeah.
Went right into washing and swore like a trooper.
Did he? Hey, you got the hang of steering it yet? You're a bit less wayward. I don't know, Chief.
Less is more. Less is more.
Less is more.
Go on. I think, look, you're uptight. You're uptight.
I
Just
am.
chill. Just chill. Just chill.
You were uptight when we were getting
I know. We was nearly aboard. This is what I'm getting the hang of. Good show.
That bloke's still behind us, look.
We passed him about half hour ago.
I know.
We haven't gained a lot of time, have we? Hey, where's the fire?
I love that. Where's the fire? Where's the fire? Why do we need to rip through these canals?
Yeah. Is there a fire drill? Is there a fire drill?
Oh man.
Now, I have, during this whole Guy Martin thing, especially in How Britain Worked, I asked everyone who was watching, where can I experience some of these things? So I'm going to ask the same question. Where can I experience something of this magnitude, like the canal type things?
Do they have like a tour or like an overnight or like a camper type deal? Like, I wonder, because that would be kind of cool. Take like an old school tour of the canal system.
Yeah.
That'd be neat.
Let us know down below.
Having got to grips with steering reckless, next the boys must tackle one of the great engineering wonders of the canal age, the Anderton boat lift.
Ah.
I reckon you want a few less revs, boy.
Built in 1875, it still carries narrowboats up and down between the Trent and Mersey Canal and the River Weaver 50 feet below. It takes a steady hand to navigate into its tight entrance. Not necessarily a job for a complete novice.
Are you nervous?
I'm not nervous, I'm just very...
Apprehensive.
You see, this is like coming here like a bull in a china shop. I think it's a measure twice, cut once job.
As Guy concentrates on manoeuvring, he forgets narrowboats don't have brakes.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to bump that out.
Oh, yeah. Boom.
This shining example of Victorian ingenuity is made up of two huge water tanks which carry the boats. The water tanks act like a pair of perfectly balanced scales, meaning very little power is needed to move a 20-ton boat up or down.
Look at the size of that. Oh, heck. That is a piece of kit, isn't it?
It's the epitome of British engineering, isn't it?
Actually, you're getting deep again, Mavis.
I was trying to think, where have we seen this?
Was it Guy or was it Dibna?
No, it was Dibna, the Dibna series that we did, where he talked about that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm a bit overcome by it all again.
It is impressive.
After negotiating the boat lift with flying colours, it's down to the business of Guy and Maeve's proper challenge. Building and manufacturing everything they need to make a cup of tea. And that challenge begins in the heart of the Black Country, in Dudley, at a Victorian foundry where they intend to recreate one of the most important processes of the Industrial Revolution, the production of cast iron.
We've got to make a kettle. That's what we're here to do. And to make a kettle, we need some cast iron. And to cast iron, we need a furnace.
A blast furnace is basically a big brick oven. Put in iron ore, rock which contains the metal iron, then get the furnace really hot, and the ore breaks down, producing pure molten iron.
Sounds easy, doesn't it? And I thought, yeah, it can't be rocket science, can it? But apparently it is. Apparently it's brain surgery. Or would you put brain surgery above rocket science? Would you? Would you?
In fact, smelting iron is so hard the boys wouldn't stand a chance on their own. So they've recruited archaeometallurgist Jerry McDonnell to take on the role of foreman.
So we've got our man Jerry down here. He's going to give us a bit of direction to turn iron ore into a bit of cast, just a bit like our man Abraham Darby. Abraham Darby, I don't know, it's 1700s, early 1700s. He started smelting iron ore on a commercial scale, like a massive scale. I mean, you've only got to look here. I mean, that's like a big steam hammer. You know, and all this stuff is really down to Abraham Darby.
Wow.
Darby's furnaces made iron for machinery, bridges and ships. And Guy and Maeve will make a small but accurate version of a Darby furnace. It will need to reach a temperature of over 1,000 degrees to turn this iron ore into molten metal.
What we're going to do is we're going to basically build a small square shaft, basically, out of these bricks, about that high, with an opening at the front here, for which the iron hopefully will run out of. But what we must make sure is that the bricks are really nicely, tightly together, because it's got to be airtight, OK?
Right.
Before Abraham Darby came along, cast iron makers were facing a big problem.
Towards the end of the 1600s, basically, the blast furnaces are closing down because they can't get enough charcoal fuel. And they're using charcoal because charcoal's a very clean fuel.
Yes.
You use it on your barbecue, yeah? Now, if you went home and tried to cook a barbecue with lumps of coal, your food would taste disgusting. So if you tried to go and smelt your iron with coal, which was
Oh,
plentiful,
yes.
you'd put sulphur into the metal, it would make it brittle, and nobody would want to use it.
Right.
Okay?
Oh, wow.
So they tried and failed.
What Darby did was invent a process for fueling furnaces with coke. Essentially coal minus the impurities, so it burns cleaner and hotter. That led to better quality cast iron being produced and truly revolutionised industry. Britain could now mass produce anything from a small pot to massive factories and machinery.
What do you reckon, Jerry?
Wow.
Well, we're about a quarter of the way up.
Ah, right.
So once we get this in...
It will move faster, yeah.
Let's have it.
So with things going well, Guy leaves Maeve and Jerry to finish building the furnace because you need more than just a kettle to make a cup of tea. He's swapping the heavy ironwork of the Industrial Revolution for a more delicate but just as important product of the same age, ceramics. It's time to make a mug at the Stoke-on-Trent headquarters of the most famous pottery manufacturer of all.
Our mate Josiah Wedgwood. Clever old boy. Clever old boy. Well, the methods that he used for pottery 250 odd years ago, you know, they were that efficient. You know, they're still using that, well, those methods now.
Before having a crack at making his own mugs, Guy gets a demonstration from possibly the most skilled potter in Britain. Robin's worked at Wedgwood since he was 12.
And you just come in a couple of days a week now?
Yeah.
For a bit of Guinness money?
Yeah.
Robin is one of only 2 men who can make what Josiah Wedgwood saw as his greatest creation, the Portland vase.
Is he right? Did it take him 5,000 goes just to get the right shape and...
Yeah, getting it fired right.
Right.
Robin can throw a Portland vase in just 20 minutes. And once decorated and fired, his creation will be worth £9,000.
Dang.
Right.
Man. And he's able to do that in like 20 minutes. Like, the £9,000, that's him, that's the price for getting that skill honed in to be able to do that in 20 minutes. Not anything else.
Crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
I could never.
He's a bit out of my price range.
Leaving Robin to his vase, Guy moves on to start his own rather less ambitious creations, a pair of
I don't know
mugs.
if centrifugal force will take hold and end up firing it all across the room.
And under the watchful eye of Gavin, Guy seems to pick up the art of throwing rather quickly.
You sure you haven't done this before?
No, never. There's some more water on, all right?
Water?
Water, well, yes, from Lincolnshire, you see.
Oh, I see.
What is it? W-A-T-E-R. It's spelled water.
No, it's looked very nice.
You think?
Yeah. Pop it down.
All right for a first attempt.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I thank very much.
Wow.
Good fun.
Impressive.
So, on to the second mug. And Guy seems to be getting a bit overconfident.
I'm making a pig's ear of it.
Now come down with your thumbs on the top.
But with an expert tip, he manages to rescue it.
Let's get good height on there. Even your rim.
What do you reckon, Gavin?
Yeah, definitely.
We've got a bit more girth on, though.
Before any decoration can be added to Guy's mugs, they need to dry out for 2 days. So Guy takes a tour to see what else goes into making this iconic pottery.
Yes, not bad.
Oh, we're getting there, aren't we?
We're getting there now, yeah.
You all right, Sue?
I'm fine, thank you.
Suzanne Heathcote's been working at the factory for over 30 years. She's an expert at creating the intricate decorations that have made Wedgwood pottery world famous. It's a job Guy soon finds out is harder than it looks.
Oh, wait, we've knackered the job.
Getting workers to specialise in just one part of the process was an idea first introduced by Wedgwood.
We've brought it. Oh, my.
He essentially invented the production line, which made his factories more efficient and his products a higher quality.
No, we've ripped that. Too much pressure, was it?
There isn't many people that can do it.
I've no, as you say, yeah.
That's it. Turn it over now, take it off the waddler for you. There you go.
Hallelujah.
Wedgwood really did demand very high standards. He had a habit of smashing any pot with his walking stick that he didn't think was up to scratch.
Look, I've got a sweat on.
But it looks like the ones Guy's decorated will make the grade.
Well, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Cheers, boss.
All that effort, and in Wedgwood's day, there was still a chance that the workers would go home unpaid. Everything came down to the process of baking the pottery in the kiln.
The kiln was more or less.
Yeah, like everything leading up to that, like just imagine if you got one little thing wrong
And
then they just smash your thing up.
And that's a whole process. That's like from the beginning to you putting the designs on. Like anything could just reverse three jobs worth. It's like failing a group project at that point.
Yeah. Oh, man.
The last operation. You know, there was 101 things that could go wrong, and the person that threw the clay, that put the decorative bits on there, they got paid on the work that came out of the kiln. But if the fella that was running the kiln didn't do a very good job, you know, no one would get paid. So that's a lot of weight on your shoulders, isn't it? I definitely wouldn't want that job. Spot on, boss. How long are they in there for, then?
30 hours.
Let's get a brew on, then.
All right.
Guy will have to wait a couple of days to see how his mugs turn out, so he heads back to the foundry where Maeve and Jerry have finished the furnace. It's ready to be topped up with purified coal known as coke, which will hopefully help produce enough molten iron to cast a kettle.
Morning, boss. She's looking well.
Isn't she? What do you reckon?
What the heck?
That's what hard work does.
Yeah, but I tell you what.
What do you reckon?
Chief, I'm impressed. I'm in awe.
In awe. How very fitting.
Ah. So, Jerry, what do you reckon? Is she going to work?
Yeah, no, really pleased, because we managed to get a good fire in her last night that's burnt all night, so she's really hot.
By heck, I'm going to get in the suntan off that. Hey?
I'm losing weight.
So what exactly are we expecting?
We get coke right up to the top, and once it's aflame and on fire all the way up to the top, then we start adding the ore and the coke, and that basically starts to go down. So we keep adding more ore and coke, and that's going down, and all the magic that happens in the furnace is happening basically in that zone there.
Right, yeah.
And what will run out of there, hopefully about 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon, will be a stream or a run of molten iron.
Molten iron? Enough to make us kettle?
Well, I need to talk to you about that, because we can't make...
You're not letting the side down here.
A kettle's too complicated. And also, in Abraham Darby's time, they didn't have kettles.
Is that
so they
right?
had just basically a little cauldron-y type thing, so a bowl, basically.
Right, to heat on what?
You just hang that over a fire.
Over a fire, right.
So, having abandoned the idea of a kettle, the boys will now be aiming to cast a replica of an original Derby pot. But if they stand any chance of producing molten iron, they have to get the temperature in the furnace right up by blasting air into it. In Derby's day, this would have been done with a set of bellows. The boys are going to use an electric pump instead.
All right. What's the temperature now, then? See what the temperature's doing. Look at that, straight away. Straight away.
Well, I told you, didn't I? Look at it go. It was just creeping up sort of a degree at a time.
Look at this now.
It was going like 0.1, 0.2 at a time.
Tell you what, boy.
It's like the clappers. Listen to it.
The dog has seen the rabbit. That is wham.
So, Jerry, we're knocking on nicely now, boss. Yeah. 930, it's climbing steady.
Excellent.
Do you want some more coal on?
Yeah, but wait. You must put on some safety because that is too hot. Because if you read the history books, it's littered with blokes who end up in hospital. So get some eye protection on for certain.
I'll see where you're coming from, boss. I'll see where you're coming from.
With the furnace now loaded with coke right to the top, it's finally time to start feeding the iron ore in.
So what we've got to add in, each time, we're going to add in 1 kilo of ore. So that is just a kilo of ore there.
So we're doing that now?
In a minute. And that is 4 kilos of coke. So we need half a bucket to one of these.
Right, 2 to 1.
Now this is where things start to get technical. They say smelting iron is as delicate as making a souffle.
Oh, look at your butterfingers.
To create the right conditions is absolutely crucial to get the right ratio of coke and ore, while making sure the temperature in the furnace is kept high enough.
It's a bit like a big cauldron, isn't it?
Oh, I like this, boy. I like it.
Any mistakes and the iron will be useless.
When we start to add the iron ore, we're actually adding oxygen, because there's oxygen trapped in the ore, so the flame might change colour a bit. But we've got to keep it blue.
With Maeve and Jerry keeping the furnace topped up with coke and ore, Guy still needs to sort the final element of his cup of tea, the tea itself.
I love how he's delegating the hard task to Maeve for this one.
He's like, okay, cool. I gotta go pick up the leaf. Like, so keep the fire going. Sweat over here. I'll be back in a little bit. I'll be back during the next commercial.
Yeah,
like
I have to go make the cups, mugs, and then I have to go make the tea. I get the easy job because
it's his show. Whatever. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
For a man who, by his own admission, drinks 20 cups a day, this is a very serious part of the process for him.
It's a lot.
Right, we're going to go and meet Jane and James. James, fellow northerner, so he's speaking the same sort of lingo. 3rd generation tea importer. He's going to show me a bit of tea tasting. And Jane knows every last thing there is to know about tea. So I'm going to come away a bit wiser, I think.
And he's also going to come away with some tea to drink on Reckless.
Now and Jane.
Hi, Guy.
Nice
to meet you.
Hi, Guy.
Right, we're getting there with all the other implements. We need to get cracking with the most important thing, the tea job. So where do we start?
We're actually going to start with a tea from India called Darjeeling, OK? We're just using soup spoons.
Right.
Then get it underneath your tongue, because that's where most of your sensitive taste buds are. So it's... like that.
Right, what do you reckon?
Slurp.
It's like his first pint.
And I said, it's a very harsh sort of bottom to it.
And slightly bitter.
Yeah. Maybe drying.
Sort
of dries your mouth out a little bit.
But there's a softness to the top of it. There's this lovely, almost grapey sort of taste. They actually call this the champagne of teas.
The champagne of teas.
Yes.
So, Jane, this tea tasting cape has been going on since we've been importing tea?
Yes, we started bringing tea in from China in the late 1650s.
Yeah. And
it was sold by brokers. They gradually developed this business of brewing comparatively with bowls and cups and then slurping it so that they knew exactly what the tea was worth and what they could charge for it. But back in those days, when we imported tea from China, the first teas were so expensive that it was only drunk by royalty and aristocrats. It was, you know, you and I would not have been drinking tea in those days. So the servant's only job was just to arrange the furniture and bring all the bits and bobs that you needed. But then the lady of the house took charge of the tea, and the tea was stored in the room where you were going to drink it. Because it was so expensive that if you left it in the kitchen, there was a pretty good chance your servants would start pilfering it for themselves.
Just ready to tip this one.
What's the next brew we're having then?
We're having some green tea next.
Green tea?
Yeah, it's called gunpowder.
Gunpowder?
Yeah.
Each leaf is hand-rolled into a little pellet.
Each one of those is done by hand?
Yeah. And when the sailors were offloading the chests of tea in the London docks, it said that they thought it was lead shot and they refused to handle the chest because they thought it might explode.
Hell's that seaweed, doesn't it?
Told you.
Hey?
Told you.
Yeah. Was that a proper slip?
Yeah.
I've got a lot to learn.
Many times.
I've got a lot to learn.
A bit strong for Guy, that one, especially as he's looking for a good solid tea break tea.
Well, this is a tea from Sri Lanka, then.
It is, yes.
And it was during the Industrial Revolution that the workers' tea break came about.
You found that some employers who were kind-hearted and benevolent actually thought, oh, my workers could do with a cup of tea as well.
Yeah.
So they would actually provide the tea and a room where they could drink it, and that was the beginning of the tea break.
Amid copious slurping all round, Guy's search for the perfect tea break tea continues.
That's a great slurp. If ever, you know, if ever the bottom falls out of biking, just come,
Do you think?
give me a ring.
Bit of tea slurping.
And it appears tea can do much more than just wet your whistle. One of the first tea merchants in Britain, Thomas Garraway, published a broadsheet about the health benefits of tea.
He said it was good for your stomach, if you had stomach disorders, if you had skin problems, scurvy.
Scurvy. I'm always trouble with scurvy.
Now, we now know, having conducted 25, 30 years of research, that if you drink plenty of tea, it can actually keep Alzheimer's at bay.
Is that right?
And that's to do with memory.
Oh, my word, I have memory like an elephant.
This is the blended tea.
Blend. Now, go on. Right.
Like Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, it's got a bit more about it. You know, it's a bit more oomph about it. And I think, well, sat down and to chill out, that's a bit of me, yeah.
With blended...
Wow, so that's something I never thought about with my own tea, because, like, live in the southeastern part of the United States, and the big thing is sweet tea, which is basically sugar water if it's bad. I mean, obviously, we the top choices of brewing sweet tea is like Louisiana and Lipton, but I don't think about like what blends those are, and now I'm curious as to what blend that is, because I brew my own sweet tea, and I also enjoy a hot cup of Yorkshire tea, and it's very robust. Like we had it when we did the full English breakfast, and I still have that left over. I still make myself a hot cup before I go and do a music live stream, because it's very good for the voice. It kind of keeps my voice fresh for longer. So I do appreciate that. And now I'm curious as to what blends those are and what he chose. He chose a blend of a couple of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting, man. Interesting. Like you got. It makes sense that when you have to have almost like a sommelier type thing.
Like, like a wine taster or beer taster or something like that.
Yep.
So also, y'all let us know below, what is your go-to cuppa, and what is your leaf of choice for your metric tea leaf water?
Metric leaf water, exactly. Let us know.
Tea in his pocket, Guy heads back to the foundry. The furnace is getting ever closer to producing liquid metal. But for that liquid metal to be turned into a cooking pot, there's one last process they need to master with the help of self-taught expert Colin Peck.
Hello, Jerry. Nice to see you, mate.
Green sand casting. Green sand means damp sand. When you compact it, you can form it into any shape you want. The inside of Guy and Maeve's boiling pot, for example.
What do we got? A little bit firmer than that. Work your ways into your corners.
Green sand casting was another British invention, patented by that man Abraham Darby at the start of the 1700s. Green sand was cheap and you could use it over and over again. And with it, large-scale production of cast-iron objects like bridges, steam engines, and even girders to build factories and aqueducts began.
Give it a little more effort than that.
The boys make the green sand mould for their pot in 4 separate sections.
OK, that'll do us nicely. Where to now?
But one slip as they put the sections together and the mould will be wrecked.
No messing.
Once the parts are all joined, they leave a pot-shaped gap between them, into which the boys will hopefully pour their molten iron.
Well done, you. Well done, you.
But it won't be until they break the mould apart at the end that they'll discover if what they've made is good enough.
Oh my God.
After days of work, it's time to break open the clay seal at the base of the furnace. As Guy stands ready to release the liquid iron, Colin moves into place with a red-hot crucible heated in his own mobile furnace, ready to catch the boys' precious metal.
She's putting up a fight, driver.
Here we go.
She's coming! She's coming!
Success! They've made molten iron. Or have they?
Scoop it in.
It quickly becomes clear that there's a problem. The metal isn't liquid enough to flow properly.
Not hot enough.
And there's a doubt about how much is actually metal and how much is just the molten impurities called slag. It's time to act fast. Colin reheats the mix in his portable furnace and adds a healthy dose of scrap metal to make absolutely sure there's enough molten iron produced to fill the mould.
We're getting close to temperature here now, so I'm going to need the mould down there.
Finally, Colin lifts the iron from his furnace, and having scooped off the slag that's risen to the surface, it's over to Guy.
Right, pour away.
Wow.
Get in that hole.
You got to go out of the spout, Guy.
This time, the molten iron looks perfect, but there's still a chance it could all go wrong.
That will cool over the next 12. No, it's still molten in there. You could have just let it come out the sides.
All they can do is wait for the metal to cool, to see if disturbing the securing weights has ruined the mould.
Oh, shit.
And whether Jerry's iron has done the job. If it hasn't, 2 days' graft will have been wasted.
Dump the sand out of it.
The sand is removed, and success.
Want to see your pot, guys?
Yay!
There you go, look, a complete pot. It's all there.
That's quite splendid, don't you reckon?
Well done, boss.
Yeah!
Can't,
So very much.
can't do it without them chaps.
Right, we've earned ourselves a brew, I reckon.
Gasping.
Back aboard Reckless, the boys put their new pot on the fire and then open their newly delivered Wedgwood-ish mugs.
Thank you very much, yeah. Is that a reflection of me?
What do you reckon?
Small and broken. Oh, hang on, why is yours bigger than mine?
Well, I thought Maeve was a bit short and stumpy.
Right, boy.
That's funny.
Yours is bigger than mine.
Yeah, what is that? What is that? Oh my God, I love that.
Fake laughter.
Yep.
Come on. We're all having fun here.
Let's have a brew on. I'm going to want 2 or 3 cups of tea, aren't I? To your one. What kind of mix is that? Come on, let's get the kettle on.
James, the tea guru, probably didn't have this brewing technique in mind for his posh blend.
See, if that's looking a little bit... What's that, what the word is?
It looks like a cauldron of witch's brew. Are you ready?
Go on, go on. That's looking a bit...
off, isn't it?
That's looking a bit black.
That's dark as hell.
Are we clinking before or after, do you think?
I reckon clink before, because it might be the last clink we ever have.
Cheers, young man.
Cheers, brother, and thanks for the cup.
No worries. Hey, up. Chief, I've had worse. That's not bad at all, really. At all.
But I'm a little bit gobsmacked.
Cheers.
Tell you what, Chief.
Oh.
It's all come together. The pot, the tea, the cups.
The cup maker especially, I think.
Me and thee, on a boat, in a canal, celebrating what's the finest and best of British.
Without a doubt.
Cheers.
Good work, young man.
Love it.
The mission continues when Guy and Maeve turn their attention to the bathroom and they try to harness the power of a steam engine to make a shower.
Get in the shower!
It cannot end well.
All right, so I think that's the first episode in the books.
Yeah.
There, I'm gonna text you the new time 28:29. So before we debrief here about this,
Oh yeah.
this was I could see ourselves getting really into this series here.
I feel like this is. I'm glad we started this.
Yeah. Hopefully, I can get my VPN working or find some other workaround other than subscription services, which always make a black screen. I've explained that multiple times. Yep. Y'all just don't want to accept that, but this was fun.
This was
a
great.
Fun series.
This was great, man.
I can't wait to dive down deep into it and learn it more things that we didn't know we needed to know. Things that don't teach us in school.
I'm always happy when guys on the channel or people like Guy, like Fred did with his series and Guy is doing currently. And I love that there's a vast library of his content.
Yeah.
Doing stuff like this. His content is the most watchable out there, I would say.
Yeah.
It's just so it's just so intriguing, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's just his mind is so like mechanical based and oriented, obviously. But it takes that, and I don't know. It makes me appreciate more things that I give credit to. I think, if that makes any sense, it makes me appreciate more things. Period.
Yeah, things that you just take for granted.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, can't wait for the next one. Thanks for watching.
Yes.
Consider subscribing, watching another video, and what else?
Unplug and do something legendary, guys.
Exactly. See you next time.
Later.